up?
Welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I am Morrow, this is Mary, and we're here to bring on some more RPG horror story cringe. Are you ready, Mary?
No, not really.
She's supposed to say aye aye, Captain.
Aye, Morrow.
I can hear you.
Aye, Morrow.
Cringe! Let's get to the first story for today. Why yes, I'm a regular human who is totally familiar with reality. Why do you ask? This is a horror story about a player. I will call him Discreetly, for reasons that will become clear. What made Discreetly so much of a nightmare was that despite seeming like a regular dude who had basic grasp on reality, when he was playing a character, he seemed to lose all sense of the concept of consequences. For example, I'm running a World of Darkness game set in modern day. Discreetly has, following a tip, spotted a distinctive van he'd been looking for, parked street side downtown in a large busy city around lunch hour. In other words, people everywhere. Ask Discreetly what he will do. Expect him to stake the van out or to look in windows or something. I climb on top of the van, I say. Pardon? What? He confirms that he will climb on top of the van and lie down. His plan, if it can be called that, was to hang onto the van when it departed, so you could see where the people who owned it lived. He seemed utterly baffled when a police officer wandered in and asked what he was doing, if this was his van and so on, like he never imagined anyone would see him up there. Does he think he's like Batman? I mean, if you, let's say for example it was a session set at night and you're wearing all dark or all black, maybe that could work, but if you're in broad daylight, yeah, people are gonna see you. People are definitely gonna see you and they're gonna do something about it.
Just pretend you're sunbathing, just like spread your arms out when you're lying down.
Spread eagle, just, yeah, I'm just sunbathing out here on the van. Second example, same World of Darkness game, same characters as the Van Surfer. Discreetly had maxed out his characters of fame and wealth. He owns a ton of property in the area. His picture in the paper all the time. He is an incredible well-known personality in the city, and eventually that's underpaying the amount of fame he brought. But Discreetly wants to infiltrate the local drug smuggling organizations, since they seem to be connected with some of his enemies. His plan? Cutting off his ponytail and absolutely nothing else. Not even changing his very distinctive style of dress. Seemed shocked when he was immediately recognized. Has he never watched like a spy movie or like a secret agent movie at all? Like they do something, they put on disguise, do something to change their facial appearance. Fake mustache even. A fake mustache would be more of an effort than cutting off your ponytail.
No, you know what it could have been? He might have been watching too much anime, because there's a lot of anime where like they literally just have a different hairstyle and they're a completely different person.
But they don't look the same in anime.
Where they do like the transformation and not even the hair
face.
changes. Or he could have used the hair he cut off his own head to use it. As like
exactly.
A fake beard or
there
something.
you go. Make a fake beard out of his ponytail. Fantastic. Sounds much better than anything else. Last example. And here we get to the name. This is, as he's been mentioned, a World of Darkness game. Discreetly is playing a werewolf. He's driving along and realizes he is being tailed. So he drives out to a remote road and pulls into a gas station and then goes inside and takes up a position right next to the entry. This being a typical convenience store, the door is out front, the glass, so he can absolutely be seen from the outside. Oh my god. This guy, has he never been to a gas station? Most gas stations, at least in America they do, they have just glass on the outside. Take cover behind like a stacked thing of like soda cans or something, or soda boxes. The least you could do.
I hope he's doing all this on purpose.
Maybe he's too smart for us. Maybe we just don't understand his genius. Let's keep going. I ask what his plan is, and he says, when the guy comes in to see where I've gone, I'm going to gut him discreetly. I blink, shocked. Gut him? And then he says, very defensively, discreetly. He's not going to the beer coolant or anything like that, right? He's not going to the beer fridge or any of the aisles. He's just straight up right at the front door, gutting where everybody on the outside can see because glass windows, and the cashier could probably also see and hear that. You can't gut somebody discreetly. When you gut somebody, people typically make a noise like, ow, owie, ouchies. You know, the whole sense of discreet is gone. Whole sense of stealth, it just disappeared.
You like stab me like, ow, ouchie, ow, and we're like, I'm dying.
Yeah, you'll probably be screaming,
ah, I'm bleeding out.
I am bleeding the fuck out of my sternum, please. This was during the day at a gas station that wasn't super busy, but wasn't abandoned or anything. And as noted, anyone pulling into the parking lot would easily be able to see him from the outside. And of course, to gut the guy in question, discreetly or otherwise, would require turning into werewolf form in the middle of the gas station that is presently full of customers. You think you want to do a cool thing, but you don't think how you want to do it. I mean, it's cool the player wants to like do these cool things, sure. If you do it in broad daylight, everybody is gonna see it. At least wait until it's dark or something.
I was gonna say, by the sounds of it, it just sounds like he keeps wanting to get caught or seeing how quick he can get caught or get killed. I don't know.
Or he thinks there's no consequences for his actions or something. I don't know. That was 25 years ago, and I will never understand what was going on in that guy's head. He played with the group for a few months, and everyone else was equally baffled by him. Eventually, we stopped asking him to show up, and he stopped asking about the games, and that was that. But I will always remember, I got him discreetly. I'll have to use that one day for a character. You know, Mary and I have other characters. It's an Aarakocra and an Owlin, and they're both kind of like a discreet assassin kind of characters. We should totally do that. I'll poison him discreetly.
Kill a little bit.
Next time I do something loud, I'm just gonna follow it up with discreetly. Just completely take away any sort of noise. I cast fireball at 5th level. Blah! Discreetly.
I peg you in the ass discreetly.
Okay, we're moving on from that one. Player goes from 0 to 100 because they failed a roll and their character died. This event occurred a few years ago. I worked at an LFGS, and on Wednesday nights, I would run a Shadowrun game. I had what I thought at the time was a great group of players that were interactive with the environment, paid attention, and roleplayed really well. It was our 5th session of a new arc to the ongoing campaign when the player who was playing a Technomancer was doing some really awkward shit in the game. At one point, there was a very difficult encounter involving this Technomancer and the rest of the party. The Technomancer was involved in casting a spell and decided to do it to the full potential. I warned him that if he failed a specific roll, it would fry his brains and his character would die. He said he understood and made the roll. That's when something unexpected happened. The roll went bust and his character died instantly. One of the other players mentioned that it's luck of the dice, to which the Technomancer player lost his shit on them and pulled a knife on the other people in the group.
I didn't realize it was like IRL. I thought it was in-game.
No, not in-game. No, they pulled a knife on somebody IRL, and they were just like trying to shank him and stuff. They got so mad over the character getting a bad roll.
Why would you have a knife on you in general?
Well, I don't know. Listen, I mean, I get people sometimes carry pocket knives that could be very useful in different situations and stuff, but I mean, to pull a knife on somebody, that's like, you have to cross the moral line to do that.
Must be British.
I worked as a security guard in the nightclubs for many years, so my instincts kicked in and pushed the table into him and twisted his wrist to let go of the knife. He lost his shit, wiggled his way out, and punched me. The altercation got very physical, but I was able to subdue him and kicked him out of the store. Because this game was after hours, I locked the door as soon as I kicked him out, and I went back to the table and apologized to the other players. A few minutes later, I called my boss and told him what has happened, and we banned him from the store. My boss asked me if I wanted to call the police for his assaulting me, but I had nothing more than a broken lip and a few sore spots on my torso. Nothing major, I had worse. The following day, the Technomancer player came back and tried to attack me again in the store. This time, however, my boss... Exactly, yeah. The guy is doubling down. The guy's literally doubling down over his character in a fucking TTRPG dying, dude. Character deaths are gonna happen. You've been warned over what would happen. You decide to roll anyway. You didn't change your decision. It didn't work out how it's supposed to. It's consequences of thy actions. There you go. It's just a character, man. You can make a new one and stuff. You can easily make a new one, or you can talk to the DM in private and be like, hey, I really like the character. Do you think there's a way for the character to come back and return at some point, maybe through like a plot device or a plot point? Anything would have worked better than assaulting somebody with a fucking pocket knife, dude, and then doubling back down while coming back to it and actually attacking them again. What is wrong with you? This time, however, my boss and 2 other employees were there to stop him. Suffice it to say, the police were called this time. I, however, didn't press any charges against him because honestly, we've all had bad days. Yeah, there's bad days and there's days where you go to shank somebody. That's not really a bad day. That's somebody just being completely irresponsible with their own actions that decides, hey, I'm just gonna shank whoever I want and attack whoever I want because I could just do that. People that just allow themselves to do these sort of things, they're just generally the worst because instead of being, reflecting on maybe I'm the problem, you say, no, it's the other player problem. I'm gonna go assault him in the store because your character died in a TTRPG. What is wrong with you? It's a character. It's a fictional thing. Make a new one or ask DM to bring your character back. I don't know. You can solve these things without violence.
You can even take your character to another D&D group.
You can take the character to another group completely and then just keep playing the character. It's not a problem. It's not a big deal. A few months passed by and I ran into a technomancer in the Shawarama? I'm probably mispronouncing it completely. Shawarama shop close to my work. He apologized to me and for everything and thanked me for not pressing charges, as I told him then, for which I said above. Sometimes we have bad days, and in the heat of the moment, we may do things under certain circumstances that normally we would never do. His reasoning for what happened stuck with me though. He'd lost his dad a few days before the event and was lost. He didn't want to live anymore, and he was using the game as an escape. And when his character died in the game, he felt like he had nothing left because gaming was all he had. I nodded and never saw him again. I hope he is well now. My condolences go to the problem player for that, but here's the one thing you shouldn't do when you're going through rough stuff. Try to stab somebody with a fucking pocket knife. That's a great way to get nobody to sympathize with you in the first place if you just start to act like an asshat. But probably would have been better just to let the other players know how you feel. Let them know that you feel a little bit lost. Talk to the DM so you feel a little bit lost because you got all this stuff going on, and maybe figure out a way for your character to still stay in the game and be brought back or something.
Some people have trouble telling people when they're feeling down though, especially since he was saying he wanted to end himself. That's not easy. There's places to go to talk about that, the hotlines and stuff.
Talk it out. You can always find somebody to talk to, but talking things out is definitely going to be a way better response than trying to stab somebody, trying to shank somebody, hurt somebody else because you're in a bad spot.
I can understand if they couldn't help it. They just needed a hug. Someone, at least one person to talk with and explain their feelings to, just so they can have that person or their shoulder to cry on to release all the anxiety and pain that's been building up and stuff.
Yeah, but you don't stab somebody for it. Regardless of what's going on, it's not okay to hurt others. I get you hurting. I completely get it. But it's not okay to hurt others. And that'll be all our stories for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the stories. I hope you enjoyed Mary's company. We'll be seeing y'all in future videos from then on. Feel free to leave feedback in the comment section below, like, whatever. And if you'd like to see more, consider hitting subscribe.
Bye.